Bitcoin, the big brand, the granddaddy of the crypto world. The birth of Bitcoin. On the 31st of October 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto released a Bitcoin white paper. This white paper was entitled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. In this short white paper, Nakamoto gave an overview of his ideas for Bitcoin. What's interesting is that no one really knows who he or she is, or whether in fact it's the name for an individual or a group of people. Nakamoto implemented Bitcoin as open source software and released it in January 2009. So this Bitcoin white paper, there's a little extract of it on the right hand side there, you can see just the abstract. The Bitcoin white paper is obviously quite famous in the cryptocurrency world. It includes details such as transactions and the blockchain, the proof of work concept, how the network is run, incentives to run the network, because obviously the people who run the computers that run the nodes on the network, they need some kind of incentive to be doing this. The efficiency issues involved, payment verification and preventing double spending, and then some issues about privacy and some mathematical calculations to do with the cryptography. So it can be quite tricky to follow if you're a non-technical person, but it's only 9 pages long, so I'd certainly give it a go and skip the mathematical bits if you're not interested in those or don't really understand them. But just have a read of it and you'll get the gist of what Satoshi Nakamoto's original plans were for Bitcoin and how they've changed in the modern world. There's a link to it in the resources, so you can download that PDF and have a read of it yourself. Market dominance. Bitcoin has always been and still is the market dominator. I believe it's today, I think it's got 40% of the market share. So of all the coins, including the altcoins, it's still way ahead of the second and third place and in the market cap. So Ethereum is second, and I think today Ripple is third and Litecoin is fourth, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but Bitcoin is way ahead. So it has the largest market cap, as I've just said, and the market cap is the coin price, the current market price, multiplied by the circulating supply. So the question a lot of people ask is Bitcoin like the Alta Vista, Yahoo or Infoseek of the search engine world in the early days of the internet before Google came along? So what people are asking is Bitcoin really going to stay dominant, or is someone else going to take over with one of these alternative coins that's going to change the world, take over Bitcoin and become the top dog? The short answer is we don't really know the answer to that question at the moment. So Bitcoin is still the most trusted by the big money investors. Bitcoin is often used as a store of wealth rather than currency at the moment because of the high transaction fees with Bitcoin at the minute. A lot of people are using it just as a store of wealth rather than to buy stuff with. Traditionally, gold is used for a store of wealth, but the Bitcoin price is different to gold in that it's highly, highly volatile. So there are many hundreds of cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin, which we'll talk about later, but Bitcoin is the one that always gets in the news. It is, like I said, the granddaddy of the cryptocurrency world. It's the one that everyone's heard of. It's the most trusted. So let's see how long that situation remains. So the current speed and cost issues with Bitcoin, you may, if you follow the news at all to do with cryptocurrencies, this issue will crop up from time to time. Bitcoin has seen some massive growth in both its adoption and its price. Unfortunately, transaction costs, or network fees as are sometimes known, have increased as a result of this. So in December 2017, transaction fees could be as high as $50. I mean, a transaction fee of $50 is excessive. It makes it totally impractical to go and buy a $3 coffee if the transaction fee is $50. So since then, the price of Bitcoin has dropped and the price of the transaction fees has also dropped. But the transaction speed has also reduced dramatically over time. Bitcoin has some solutions such as SegWit2x and the Lightning Network. These are pretty technical examples of ways that the performance will be improved for Bitcoin. The way I sometimes explain the situation with Bitcoin at the moment is if you think of the internet back in 1995. I mean, I started a software engineering degree in 1994, so I was using the internet back in 1994. A lot of people may not have even heard of the internet back then. So who'd have thought back then that we'd be streaming YouTube and Netflix at the moment? It was just unheard of back then. It was incomprehensible. I remember when email started to become popular, people were saying that email would kill the internet. It's just too much load for it. Too many emails, it would kill the internet. And now we're streaming YouTube and Netflix. So what I'm saying is don't worry about the speed and cost issues with Bitcoin, because technology moves fast and these problems will be resolved. And before you know it, Bitcoin hopefully will be cheap and fast again like it used to be. Okay, so just a little explanation of the picture of the tortoise. They're not that expensive, but they are slow and live for a very long time. And hopefully Bitcoin will be around for a long, long time.